Hi, this is Julie with Beadaholique, and today I'm going to show you how to make this pretty necklace using a Patera Findings glass vial with metal surround and a little encased flower inside. The flower I've actually beaded using wire and some 11-0 seed beads. And the tools you're going to need for this project are some green seed beads. These are check and they're size 11-0. Then I've also pulled out some pink Tohos in 11-0. I have some flat back rhinestones, and this is size SS12. You're going to need a pair of tweezers. I have a magic pick. It really helps to pick up the flat back rhinestones. You're going to need some E6000 adhesive, a pair of wire cutters, and some 26 gauge craft wire. You're also going to need one of these great findings, and they come in an array of colors. We have an antique silver, a bright silver, antique gold, and then an antique copper. For this project, I'm going to use the antique gold, but I wanted to show you the variety of these findings available. They're really quite nice. They have a screw-off lid, and then you can put whatever you like into that vial, and then they've got even like a nice little stopper up there. So to begin, first off, I'm going to clear my workspace, and I have my beading mat. I'm going to take my 26 gauge wire, and I'm going to cut about 10-11 inches. I'm not going to be too picky on this. I'm just going to eyeball it. And while I'm here, I am also going to cut myself another couple inches. I'm just going to set that aside for right now. So to make my little flower, I'm going to put onto my wire 7 of my pink seed beads, which are going to be my first flower petal. So once I've got 7 on there, I'm going to slide them to the midway point. Again, I'm not being too particular here. I'm just eyeballing it. I'm going to slide them down and pinch them together. Now I'm going to take, you can see where the 2 wires are. I'm going to overlap them by twisting them. So 1, 2. So just 2 quick twists. I'm going to separate my wires out now, and I'm going to bead on another 7 of my pink beads. Okay, I'm going to let those slide all the way down to the base, and now I'm going to bring them together as well. And you can see I've actually taken the wire which they were strung onto, and I've put it behind the other wire. I'm going to pull it so that they're crossing, and I'm just going to do a quick twist. Separate my wire out again, and then I'm going to, you guessed it, put another 7 of my pink beads onto my wire. Slide those down, fold it in half so that your beads form a petal shape. And on this one, I'm actually going to take that wire and pull it all the way around between the other petals I've got going. The great thing with wire is it is flexible and it does stay put, so you really have a lot of flexibility with how you want to wire work this. Remember, it's totally up to you. You are in charge. If you want to go in a different direction, that's totally fine, as long as you're just forming that nice flower petal shape. I try not to over twist my wire just because I don't want my petals to become too separated and far apart. I find if I make too many twists, then the petals actually look like they're really spaced out and not like a tight flower. All right, I've got my final 7 on there. I'm going to pull them all the way down. Going to twist, and I kind of want to make this a little bit more secure, so I'm taking that wire around the back, and I'm going to pull it up through my other flower petal and back down, and pull my other wire to the back as well. So now I've got 2 wires hanging out the back. So there, I've got my flower. Now I'm going to just twist my wires. You can see how they're starting to twist. All right, once I've done a couple twists, I want to do a leaf because I want a green leaf up near my pink flower. But I think I'm going to make this a smaller leaf, so I'm just going to put 5 little green seed beads, again size 11-0, onto my wire. So I've done that on one wire, and now I'm going to loop that wire around, make those come together to form a petal, and just twist my wires together. Now this main twisting is going to be the stem of my flower, and like a lot of flower stems, it's going to be a little irregular, and I'm okay with that. I kind of like the effect. So now I'm going to twist a little bit more. I'm going to add another flower, and this one I think can be a little bit bigger. So I'm going to put maybe 7 or 8 of the green beads on here. So I've got 7. I'm going to go with that. And I'm going to twist around, and you'll notice what I'm doing is I'm actually taking that wire and I'm twisting it up and back over instead of back this way, and what that does is it gives a little bit more of a rounded shape, I find, to my leaves. You could just go ahead and twist it the other direction. It'll give it a little bit of a flatter shape. I'll show you in a moment what they'll look like. Okay, so I brought it around. I'm just going to twist my wires. So let me show you real quick. So here was a petal that I did, a leaf that I did, where I took the wire and I went like that, and then up and around and twisted it. And then on these ones, which are a little bit more round, I actually took the wire and went up and over. So a little bit different look. Neither one is right or wrong, it's just what you like. And now I'm going to make another petal. And I think I'll put 9 beads on this one. Okay, let those slide down. I'm just going to go curve that around. See how it made that nice rounded shape? I kind of like that. All right, now I'm just going to twist for quite a bit. All right. So now I have my flower and my leaves, and I want to take my vial, take the top off, and I want to kind of eyeball here where I'm going to want to cut my wire so that it stands upright in the container. Now with these glass vials, the glass does go almost all the way to the bottom, not quite. It goes to about the first or second little ring right here. It's a little hard to tell since it is glass and you're looking into a cavernous space, but I think I want it to be just about like that. So I'm just going to take my cutters, trim it, hold that up again, kind of see how that looks. I might trim it a little bit more because once you get this flower in there, you're kind of stuck with it in there. You're not going to be able to take it back out. All right, I'm happy with that. So now I'm going to take that piece of wire I cut previously, and I'm going to apply some E6000 to it. I'm going to use that as an applicator. So I'm just going to grab a little glob of the glue, take my flower, place the glue in the center. I don't want to overdo it, but I do want to stay in there. All right, that looks about right. I'm going to take my magic pick, and what's so nice here is this actually just allows you to pick it right up and place it in the middle. All right, so there we go. We're going to let that dry for a little bit because I want that rhinestone to stay put. While this one is drying, I actually did make another one already, and I'm going to show you how to get this flower into this bottle, and it can be a little bit tricky. You will notice that the top rim of the bottle is actually quite a bit narrower than the bottle itself. So this is where we have to do a little bit of trickery. So I'm going to carefully try to lower my flower into my bottle, and I'm going to have to bend some of my leaves as I go. Just work it in. Carefully, just keep pushing your flower into your bottle. Try not to compress the petals too much. You're going to have to some extent though. Just keep pushing it in, and then take your tweezers and help guide it in even further. What I find is if a petal looks a little too squashed, try to push it out, or you can actually try to pick up your flower and squish that petal against the rim, the interior lip, and try to push it back into shape. It is a little bit difficult and your flower will need some finessing, but that's where your tweezers come in. And then what I also like to do is I like to put a few beads at the bottom. So I'm just going to scoop some up, shake them down, and there you go. You have a little flower trapped in a glass vial. So to complete our necklace, if you have a pretty chain at home that you really like that's quite long, go ahead and use that. I'm going to show you how to quickly put this on a chain. Now I have 3 feet of a lovely antique gold chain, and what's nice about this particular chain is each individual link is actually a jump ring in itself, and I'm going to take advantage of that. And I am going to go ahead and from one end just open that jump ring up, and I am going to thread it through the top hoop of my glass vial, and then I'm going to find the midway section of my chain, just holding both ends together, and that's going to identify for me the middle. Just put that middle link through there, close that back up, and now our glass vial is on a chain. And then I'm just going to go to the other ends of my chain. This is real simple. It's about as quick and easy and no fuss as you can get, but for this project I think it looks great. So I have a pretty toggle bar in the shape of a key, and I thought that was kind of nice because it's like a keepsake vial and we have a key. And then I just have a round. I'm just going to do the same thing. So I'm not using actually any external jump rings for this project. I'm just using the chain itself. Open that back up. There's a little loop on the back of my key toggle bar. Close that. Do the same thing on the other side. And there you go. It's probably the quickest, easiest way I know to attach a clasp, and it works really well. All right, so we have our vial with our flower, and it's attached to a chain with a clasp.